All right, Jacob Powell back on the podcast, man. Super excited about this. Just obviously for the fact you were one of like the first guys that came on the podcast, and obviously it's grown so much since then. Um, but dude, you like I've been telling because I tell my family this all the time about like everything that's going on in the state and just the hype around everything, and I'm like, dude, finally we have the Jacob Powell race that we all have been waiting for. Killed it, crushed it at Heathwood, man. How are you feeling? Just first off, like how are you feeling after all that? Like finally, it seems like it's a bit of um, because you ran on the track last year. You got it was like 15, 17, right, at New Balance.
Yeah, that was terrible. Sorry.
Well, no, hey, I mean you did it though. You did it. So like, there's validation there to come back on the cross country course and get it done. Um, yeah. So how are we feeling about that kind of performance this past weekend?
I was feeling pretty good. I mean, I think the Heathwood course is considerably faster than the eye opener, so I think my eye opener performance was about similar and comparable. I was just really happy with how I handled that fifth K. With I made a big move. I mean, nobody was back there, but I passed them on that big straight that comes on before you get to the hill with the gravel. I made a big move there, a big push, and I think it's something I need to work on. It's just making those big moves, and I think this was a big step forward for that.
Yeah, when you watch the race video back, it was funny because I was actually just talking to my son about it. Like you were back, like you were not like terribly back, but you were definitely off that like front group there for a bit. Um, and then I was just like, man, like you either they slowed down or you just had a really good second half of that race and closed pretty well. Um, let's back up just a bit though. I do want to talk about eye opener a bit because that got a lot of controversy because like the timing was off and that was all weird. Just like from like your first initial thought, like did you when you crossed the line, did you? I mean, did you wear a watch first off, or
No, I don't wear watches when I race. I had
kudos to that?
I had somebody time me. Ryan from Catawba, love Catawba College. Time me. He said I got you about 15:35, and I crossed the 2 mile at 9:50, and I was like, okay, I didn't have a 6 minute last, 1800. There's no way.
Yeah, it was like when like the first initial thought because everyone was saying it was like 15 seconds, 15 seconds. Um, was that just like the clock was off when you guys crossed the line? There was like it wasn't necessarily like I thought at least it wasn't necessarily like the clock was off and you got actually in faster. Because I think they had you guys going through it like 450 or something in the first mile, and then yeah, all of a sudden like I'm on YouTube and everyone's talking about like 15 seconds, like it's wrong. Are they gonna fix it? And eventually, they did. Yeah. So when you crossed the line, you like I guess knew initial like what was that like? Was it just weird?
It was just weird because I didn't wear a watch, and I was just like, uh, okay, so I split fast. Well, last year the clock was messed up too. I thought I came through, and they said like 9:25 for the 2 mile, and I was like, there's no way. And so this is the second year they messed that up. But I came through the thing and was like, great. I didn't even beat my time from last year. And then I heard it was slow and was like, whew, I can breathe.
Yeah, and that was a thing too. I think at least from like everybody watching initially, was that like you saw like the guys kind of like the slow times at first, and it was kind of like, what? Okay, I guess it's running slow today. And then the girls come out, and it's like, girl breaks 18 on it, and it's like, okay, maybe, wow, that was weird. Like, it wasn't just the course. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, were you guys playing tactical? During that race, I think there was a couple heads turning at least. I mean, Luke was obviously he had a great track season. Obviously, he had a great track season.
You train 80 miles a week and you don't get injured, you're going to be good.
Yeah, um, it was a I wouldn't have expected it as far as like to win. I mean, I guess you expect fast times, but obviously GMC has three studs over there. You're obviously in the mix as well, and I don't even think he was on our poll to win the race. There was a lot of guys kind of going on.
Surprised
Um,
in there, especially
yeah,
on his home course.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, again, you just look at. I mean, when I look at the GMC guys too, I mean, granted they didn't even run last weekend either, but you would kind of expect them to kind of go in with the favorites. For that race though, did you have a game plan, or was like is it similar to kind of like sitting back and then the second half kind of coming to you, or like how is that all kind of playing out?
Yeah, because I think I'm in peak training season. Getting out with my legs is not exactly the best thing my legs can do. They can't really get out hard. You saw that at Heathwood. I physically could not move my legs fast enough to get out with the guys. And it's all about just moving the last really 2Ks of the race and really putting those together and putting people away.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that almost people have like kind of written you off a little bit, especially because you saw last year. Hate to bring up old things in last year, but like getting out kicked a couple times last year. And so like when you initially see that, like, oh, okay, he's off the pace right now. He's just gonna, fall into maybe a 15:40. And then that's why I say with Heathwood, it was like dang man, like just such a strong second half. Even at eye opener, it seemed like it's just that second half is really your kind of sweet spot against everybody else.
I went
And
through
so
I went
yeah,
through the first mile in 4:53 at Heathwood, and my pace was 4:56 for the 5K. So I think that's a really solid second
yeah,
half.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Um, something I think, even with PRs, at least for me, I always kind of like to, you celebrate it, you have fun with it. Um, but then it's the next one, it's the next goal, it's the next kind of thing. And I think there's always things that you can work on too. Is there anything like just right off the bat that you think you need to kind of fine tune, especially as we get, I mean, it's still so early in the season, but things that you do need to fine tune to get a little bit, I don't want to say quicker, but I mean, obviously we are going, want to get quicker.
Just confidence stuff. I think that having me get out a little better and get my position is going to help me be more solidified in my like just being like, okay, I have this. Let's just keep rolling with this. And I think at Mike Moore, it's a good time to do that because once I get on the road, I just need to go.
Yeah. And, plus that first mile, I mean, that first mile's pretty downhill too. You're going to get a good little push. Yeah. So, Mike Moore coming up, and then Lake Murray. And then obviously the next big one is really going to be Starlight, having a lot of the top guys over there. When you run this time, and like I said, you already kind of ran the 15:17 in track. So there's validation again to be like, okay, I hit it. Um, is there a different goal now that you have hit? You're kind of like, 15, like low 15s. Is there new goals in mind? Like, or was sub 15 always kind of something on the radar this season? Because I think now it's like, I mean, you're there, you're knocking on the door.
It was always on the radar if Fort Jackson was going to be the state qual course or the state course, but I don't know about Aiken Steeplechase. Newberry, I'm not breaking 15 there. I'm not breaking, nobody's breaking 15 there, like ever. Uh, I just, I, I mean, it was kind of always on the radar. I don't think I'm going to get to it till late season with my development, but really, XC's about placement. It's always been about placement. It's never about time.
Yeah, place always. I mean, if you get the win, the time's gonna obviously be there. Um, it seems like 5A D1 is so stacked this year, especially this year, and so early. I think that's something that um, maybe just not used to, like seeing everybody run so fast, like so early. And that's why I say it kind of opens up to like just maybe some new goals. Because it's like even with Luke, like I mean, and he's got his teammate there too. It's like there's a plethora of guys that really have a shot at a good state finish
I
for
mean,
the title. Yep.
what happened last year, I mean, anybody can really go for it. I mean, I heard from Overly that Brendan was injured, and so he just like came out of nowhere and boom. I mean, anything can happen on any day.
Yeah, that's true too, and that's why like in any rankings, I always kind of give him a nod. Just he is the defending state champion, so you always got to put respect on that. When like I said, we have two meets coming up. Um, and not the largest one. I mean, even this week though, you're still gonna go against some of the same guys there. I mean, Lucas is gonna be there. Get a rematch at that.
Are you sure? Dylan's
They're in
oh
they're
really?
in the entries.
Dylan said that Westminster was not coming, but I was like, they came last year. Like he got
Yeah,
like
they came.
whatever.
Yeah, they came last year. They're in the entries right now. I'll reach out to confirm, but
All right,
as of right now, they're in the entries,
all right.
and I mean that's what we'll ride with. But obviously, there's a, and it's funny because I look at that race too. Granted, it was like pouring rain for that one, so you kind of expect things to be a little maybe more tactical. I mean, granted, you took that one, and it seemed like you were so confident in that one
But that
from
was
the
a
start.
relaxed race. It was really just the fact that I saw the Chapin guys coming on me at the end. That was the only thing that really stressed me out during that race. I was very confident.
Yeah. So when you look at next week or this week, still a high quality race. Then the week after, and then again going into Starlight. When you look at Starlight, is that a meet that is kind of circled on your calendar as somewhere like you want to kind of open up? Like that is probably maybe the first opportunity to go close to sub 15 because that course is relatively. I mean, Ty Jones on it. I think last year was like 15:05 range.
I know.
Do you feel like you're in that kind of shape?
Uh, I mean, if the course, it depends on all about the day and the comp because Caleb Burrows ran a 15:05 there after the same week that I came within half a second of him at the region championships. It's all going to be about can I get out? Can I stay with the leaders? And can I move? That course is not the best for moving, just in my opinion, because it's all turning all over the
Yeah.
place. And
Yeah.
I'm, it gets out so fast. And it's just because, starting 150 people, 200 people on a track is just wonderful.
Gotta love it. Yeah, no, you bring up good points because with Starlight, I've always kind of like, um, it's interesting. It's really interesting because it is so, there's so many turns. There's so many turns. There's not really like, I mean, I guess on the backside, you get a good straightaway ish. Um, but for a course that has so many turns and whatnot, you would expect it to run slow. Um, and then like you said with yeah starting 200 150 on the track single file like team wise like it is insane to me, but people love it. So but yeah, like you mentioned though too, Caleb running that time too, just days after the region meet. That was something
And it was
of
pouring.
itself. Yeah, and that's why it kind of sucks like last year with that meet being so postponed because it's like man like it almost makes you like scratch your head of like what could have been. Like, what
Uh,
if you were there? You know,
in my opinion, I think it was because there were less people on the course. They ran that fast.
that is true too. That's a good point. That's a really good point.
It's all about
That's a
competition and how they get. Like I think you don't shove 100 people on a track. People will run fast in track. You take a look at distance carnival. Ty Jones ran like what 8:58 when there was like 20 people on the track. Like I think I got at that 17th out of 22.
no, yeah. You bring those are good points too. Which I'm not sure how many teams are on the line. I think they cap it off at 13 or 14, which is I mean relatively small ish for like a major race, but just to have everyone on the track at one time.
Yeah,
Um, you're almost forced to start out fast. Is that a race? Because obviously you've done it before. Is that a race you feel confident enough that you are going to be able to kind of get out quick? I mean, you have to essentially.
but I am not confident in getting out.
Damn. I
It's
mean,
just my legs don't move that fast.
really it. That's so interesting because you have so much speed. Like if you just looked at the 5K time, you'd be like, oh man, this guy's like crushing it from the start, and then little. If you watch the races, it is different. You do play tactical. Is that? I guess if you could get out harder, would you get it harder, or you really would? Because I mean, it seems like the tactical that it, whether you like it or not, it seems like it works. You
Yeah,
know, like I feel like a lot of kids would actually like mimic what you do, because it's proven to work as long as you have confidence enough that you can catch back up in the pack.
yeah, I didn't have much confidence on Highlander, but that was a huge confidence booster just watching them get closer and closer. And I was like, oh, I'm in passing range. Oh, I'm past them. I was like, okay, wow, confidence booster.
Was there ever a time during that race where you thought like I'm gonna catch them? Like when you were sitting back a little bit, like it was like not a question, like it's just a matter of like when.
Yeah, that was kind of the entire race. I was thinking, when am I going to catch them? I've got this. Just stay calm. And at 2 miles, they really started to get close, and I went down the hill, and then I came back on that left turn, and they just started to get really close in that straightaway. And then I was like, okay, I'm right by. And then I could see one of the guys from Westminster go like this, and that's when I knew they know I'm here. They
Then
know.
yeah. Oh dang, that's intimidating as heck. Because of like the course, and like especially like where I was, I don't know. Did you were you ever side by side on Lucas, or was he always just kind of like one step ahead on it, or
We were came out of the gravel. I was in front. 3 mile, Lucas blows past me, and then I just kind of keep pace with him a little bit. I do think we were not 4 seconds apart. I don't think we were 4 seconds apart. He came through like 15, 16. I was like 15, 18. The timing was just a little funky.
that's yeah? Because like I said, yeah, because of the course layout, like I didn't see that, but because I feel like that too is kind of. I mean, they have two studs over there. It's
They're really good.
insane. It's insane.
I mean, my sophomore year I ran Islander 2, and I also lost to Adam Lip, also a runner at UGA right now, I think. He also went to Westminster.
Lord. Um, so like I talked about earlier, 5A is it's so deep. There's really no room for errors when it comes to the state meet and whatnot. Um, and then again, obviously talking about things that things we need to work on for your senior season. Is this kind of how you envisioned it to play out? Or like to start off, like did you expect to kind of be going this fast early on, or was this something that was like maybe mid season you're gonna be this low and then kind of hit your stride?
I'm fine with whatever. I haven't really like planned out like I'm gonna do this and then this and then this. I'm just gonna run every race the best I can and hope I run a good time, run against good people, try and beat them.
Is there anybody who's shocked you so far this year, whether it be like in 5A or even just overall in the state?
Luke Hurley and Malik did not shock me one bit. I saw their training and was like, these guys are gonna be fast. I actually had fears they were gonna 1-2 eye opener. And was like,
Wow.
because it's their home course and you never know. They could just have like a foolproof plan, move right up on us and just snatch a 1-2. That didn't happen, but I felt like it could have happened on a great day for them. I have respect for high mileage people, even if it's kind of get rich or die trying. That's why I kind of realized this season with my training. I realized I've been training like 55 miles a week for like a long time now, like a year and a half, 2 years. And so I was like, why don't I just try out like 63 and actually try and expand my training? And I did, and it's made me so much better. That's really what it was.
Now, that expansion, that additional running, was it easy to kind of incorporate into the plan, or was it more on the legs? Like, did you feel it kind of? No.
It I was actually at Temple University for an official visit the last 2 years in Philadelphia, and I was talking with some of the guys, and they were like, "It's Sunday, you have to run," and I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Don't you take rest days?" And I was like, "Not anymore. I added 7 miles where I get my extra mileage from," because and he's like, he's the other one of the guys I was going with recruiting was like, "It keeps the legs moving," and I was like, "Exactly," and we ran together and just talked about. He's an Illinois runner. We talked about Illinois running a lot. It was really cool.
Nice.
That's
Yes.
exactly South Carolina.
So do you take any days? So you take no days off. Every day we're at least getting out, moving, or what? Because I know you mentioned the spin bike in the summertime is kind of your sweet spot. Which I mean, cross training you could kind of supplement for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much getting out every day. The last rest day I took was about a month ago. I take rest days maybe about once every 4 weeks. It's still, if I feel bad, if I'm sick, really sick, I will take a rest day. I do. I mean, I take advice from my parents, from my coach. Although my coach likes to tell me to recover a lot.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we mentioned it or if I mentioned it when we last talked, but there's so many ways to develop, and what works for one person may not work for the other, but um, because I always find it kind of fascinating too, like days off and where you kind of incorporate those into your training plan, and like, but then I think like cross training too kind of can give you a bit of a day off because you're not on the legs, or like you're swimming or you're biking, it's just something different. So then I can kind of get behind like, hey, yeah, every day, like you said, every day we're doing something, being active at least. I think that's important too. You know, something I also want to talk about too is like the team, right? So the team wise, you guys are got to put respect on it. You guys are the defending runner ups in 5AD1. Obviously, losing Spencer, Eureka, big loss. Can't be replaced. Hopefully, they're doing well. But you do still have, I mean, you have an older team, definitely an older team that has experience, that knows, the ins and outs of things. I thought this last weekend, you guys definitely. Granted, I get some of the times weren't there from some of the top guys, but you guys are definitely getting in the right direction. I even put you guys, I think, ninth in my rankings, and you guys weren't even ranked last time. Yeah, so there's definitely movement there. Do you notice anything of like just even as the team that you guys are getting better on, or and things you kind of need to work on as a group?
I do know that Dylan is not racing to his full potential right now. He did 4x2K with 60-second rest or 2-minute rest at 6:50, and then he runs a 16:45. And I'm like, you can run 16:15 right now. You just need to have the right race. AJ has been having lots of problems with racing. AJ has not been running to his full potential at all. I think we're gonna it's not their fault. It's something we just need to have a race where we can do that. And I think it's early in the season. It's okay. We have a lot of talent improving. Julius, Kent, we have lots of freshmen coming up that are just blasting it out the gate. So
Yeah, with Dylan, it's funny. I was actually talking about him this morning. He's got track speed. It's not like, you know what I mean. Like it's not like he doesn't have the speed. I would assume, like, if I was just looking at the speed alone, yeah, like you said, 16:15, 16:20s at least. So I feel like there's growth for that as well. Um, and then yeah, if you guys can get a couple of those others to from the high 17s to low 17s, or even get another guy to break, I mean, that you're at least in the conversation of being a top five, top six team in the state this year. When overall, and I know we've kind of dabbled in some of this stuff. I have a couple more things I want to kind of ask you. When you look overall as just like your senior season already, how it's going, the team, how it's improving, um, I would assume you'd say pretty optimistic. Like it's is it everything you've imagined so far, like your senior season, or is it beating expectations?
not team wise, but individual wise, I think it's doing pretty well. But I kind of wish I was expecting senior season with AJ and everyone and Dylan, and I was just expecting us to be like a top state team, but that's not the case. We just haven't really developed into that. But I've learned to roll with the punches, do what you can.
Yeah, you guys, just like an eye test. I will say this, like as an eye test, you guys look like runners. You guys look like you guys could be a really good team. Um, and honestly, sometimes it takes those later months to kind of for all things to just kind of mesh together and click in. Um, Funny thing, my junior season, we were ranked probably about fifth, sixth going into state. We ended up getting third. Um, just because it just clicked. It just clicked on that day, and obviously you get a little bit of luck rolling the dice. And so you never know. You never know what can happen. One thing I want to kind of ask you to kind of end it, and it's something I kind of started doing a little bit later on in recent podcasts, but it's more advice, man. You see a lot of the freshmen or like even eighth graders. I'm looking at eight. There's some eighth grade studs out there right now. Um, there's a kid in North Carolina just ran like 15:56. Like,
About
like what the heck, man? So you see like these younger guys coming up. What advice would you have for them, whether it be like running or in academics and meshing it together? What are some of the things that you would say, like, what has helped you? Because you've been running for such a long time as well, and you've gone through the program and have had to do it.
keep the love alive, man. Don't let anyone's expectations get to you, especially if you're really fast and people tell you on the internet and stuff that you're a phenom. Don't listen to them. It's all about you being the best you that you can be, trying your best, racing your best, and that's all you can do. You can't control what anyone else thinks, what anyone else does, what anyone else runs, what times they do. You control what you do, and just work your hardest, run your best, and be proud of that, because that's all you can do.
Yeah, yeah, no, man. Well said. Definitely well said, man. Jacob, appreciate you coming on, dude. Honestly, wish you the best of luck this season, the rest of the season. Obviously, we're gonna be following you the whole way.
Yeah.
So you got your personal videographer with you at all races. Yeah, dude. Wish you the best of luck, man. I know it's like somebody who hypes up races, maybe too much to an extent to put a little pressure on everybody, especially with the eye opener. I'm expecting some really big things out of you, man. I know, but you expect a lot of yourself too. So I can't wait to see what happens. Again, Starlight is circled on the calendar as being one of the big ones, and obviously the time is whatever, but obviously the state meet, state champion, knock on wood, that's what we're going for. I appreciate it, man. So I'll let you go, and again, would love to have you back on. Hopefully later on in the year, and yeah, man, we'll just talk more.
All right. Thank you.